I became aware of the Tī Kouka a lot later in life. Most whānau around here were Kai people, and so a lot of our Kai activities were basically on the rivers, on the lakes, and it was more about tuna and fish and watercress and that type of stuff. Be 30 odd years ago when I remember asking Uncle Joe what was the reason that our people lived here. It was because of our ability to harvest Te Koka, the cabbage tree, and aruhe, the bracken fern, and it was harvested in huge quantities. Tēnā koutou te whānau, nā mihi kia koutou te kōrero o te mātauranga o te Tī Kouka. Nau mai hara mai. Ko Karl Russell, nā uri o te pāpā, o taku pāpā e George te Kitiwi James Russell, o tākau marae o te poti, nā uri o te whaia o Irihapiti, Tarawhatawaka, te hapu o Kati Huirapa no Aro Whenua. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. This area where we are, we're at Craigmore Station. The area is called Mahinga Kai, and literally means the mountain of tea trees. So there were thousands of hectares of Te Koka here, pre-European. From a Māori perspective, it was an absolute resource, particularly in this area, for those reasons of kai, rongoa, the building of whare as marker posts for trails, and also an important part of it was because of its fibrous content. It was a great smouldering branch to carry around when you were travelling around the mutu. As a fire starter, so you had instant fire, you were carrying it with you, so it had all those values for our people. E tapatu ki ute, e tapatu ki tai, e tapatu a tāne, e tapatu a takaroa. E koi kaha ki ute, e koi kaha ki tai, e kaha a tāne, e kaha a takaroa. Hei tapatu ki uta, hei tapatu ki tai, hei tapatu a tāne, hei tapatu a takaroa. Whanno, hara mai te tauki haumi ea, hui e, tāki e. So this is one that, it's young, it's probably about 5 years old. What we're going to be doing with this piece here, we're actually going to do it in a modern concept of boiling it with titi, kam or moi and some watercress. But in the old days, we're talking about them harvesting them from the roots as well, digging them up, stripping them down, and then they were left to dry out a bit for about 8 weeks, up to 8 weeks. Then the umu tea, the giant hangi, was made, 30 foot long, 20 foot wide. They wrapped them in bundles, in kite, covered with whāriki, water poured over them, then covered, and a 48-hour steaming process. We're going to start stripping the leaves off. So as you can see, we peel these back, we can take all the tips off here. Now, they say you can eat it straight off the tree like this. Ever so slightly bitter taste, but you can actually taste the sugar in it. But it's actually reasonably tasty. And into the longer piece here we've got of the trunk, there's several layers of rings of it, but the very centre, the pito, has become fibrous, and I believe that when we cook this, this is where we'll be able to get the kauru out of it. As for the leaves, we're going to cut the ends off, and we'll utilise them later on when we cook our dish up. Okay, this is the big piece we're going to start with. We're moving into the unknown because the old way of doing it was in an umu in the ground. So we are going to be boiling it, so it's going to be a longish process. I can see why they hung them. I have 8 brothers and 4 sisters, so we're a family of 13. To supplement our my parents' income and food in the house, like a lot of whānau over the pā here, we supplemented our kai with Mahinga Kai. So at a very, very young age, we were kai gatherers, and that was a constant in our lives of kai gathering amongst our whānaus. And it was sometimes a weekly process where we were gathering kai. Mahinga Kai is part and parcel of our lives. Now I've put the potatoes, the moimois, there's saw beet in there, titi, and of course the main ingredients that we're talking about is I'm going to put Tī Kouka in that we had. So that's pretty much the process we're at for this stage. This is a very modernised process of how our people would possibly have beaten the Te Koka to get the koru out of it. So we've never done it before, so this is purely an experimental process to see if we can get it done. Texturally, that's still reasonably hard. My gut feeling is the boiling process has changed the structure of it, and I'm just trying to think that obviously the umu tea is the way it has to be done. Like we've had it going for about 3 or 4 hours, so we're talking the old way was 48 hours. But we have got some of the kai out of it, and I'm just going to try a wee bit and see what it tastes like. It's sweet and nice, and the bitterness is extremely mild. There's no strong burny taste in my mouth and throat and on my palate. It's actually very nice. I can imagine it now being formed into cakes, and them adding some tutu juice or juice from the harakeke, the nectar from the harakeke, and I can see it being cooked on stones, hot stones, and made into little cakes, and they would be very nice to eat. There you go, brother. Some kai for us. E noe tātou e whakapaini e nei kai a kai nā tūpuna. A raki a papatunuku a tāne a takaro harama te tauki homi e hui e tae ki e kai. There you go, brother. Tuck it. That's beautiful. That is actually nice. It's still got that bitterness in it, but the sweetness is coming out of it. It's like when you put citrus with fish and all that type of stuff. It gives it a bit of bite. Well, this has got the bite, and we're adding ingredients that are reducing that bite when you eat it. So it's actually quite nice. It's quite nice. It'll be interesting to see the effect on the puku an hour or so later if you have a good kai of it, see if it actually has a reaction, because it's known for its cleansing powers as well. The Tī Kouka, very resilient plant, tree, rako, whatever you want to call it, very resilient. and I think it's hand in hand with the resiliency of our Māori people. Still growing with pride.